My dreams came true. I got to go to Switzerland for the first time. One of my dreams. If you don't know this about me, I'll tell you why it was such a big dream of mine, right? My mother is a black woman, Xhosa woman from South Africa. I grew up in South Africa, right? Molweni. My dad is a Swiss man from Switzerland, white man, right? And so I never got to go to Switzerland. And then when I got the chance, I never really made the time, and then I couldn't go there. And then finally now, we went to Switzerland for the first time, and it was liberating. You know, because here's the thing. My whole life, I've always felt like my dad didn't really love me, okay? And then now, when I went and met him in Switzerland, I was like, no, he's just Swiss. They're all like that. It was a bit weird, though. It was a bit weird. I tried to surprise him, though. Right? I tried to surprise him by learning German. We hadn't seen each other for a while, and because he speaks German, I thought I was going to surprise him on the trip. You know, I went on Duolingo, did a bunch of studying, and I got to Germany, got to like practice the whole thing, got to Switzerland, I was like, oh, this is it. And I was ready. I was like, I'm going to surprise my dad. I planned to get to his house, knock on the door. He was going to open it, be surprised, like, oh, Trevor. Then I'd be like, Papa, ich spreche Deutsch. He was going to be like, oh, ich liebe dich. Be like, die net op. It was going to be a whole thing. I had it all planned out. Didn't go according to plan. I got there. He was surprised. He was happy. But as soon as I spoke, I was like, Papa, ich spreche Deutsch. And he was like, don't do that. Don't do that, huh? No, don't do that. No. We don't celebrate our heroes enough in this country. So many of our heroes, we chastise them. We bring them down. It's jealousy, it's hatred. Umona. Heroes that we don't acknowledge. Greats. After Nelson Mandela, we always go, nobody else can live up to that. Yeah, but there's small levels of greatness. You don't even have to look far. For instance, our great sign language interpreter. Tamsanga. Yankees. The man who made it all happen. Huh? He was there at Nelson Mandela's memorial service. A service that the whole world was watching. And because of that, the service was translated to everyone all over the world. Translated into all languages, including sign language. And so Yankees was there translating for those who didn't understand. Unfortunately, he also didn't understand sign language. Which is a small problem. A problem that he didn't let stop him, people. Where others see obstacles, he saw an opportunity. People go, he's a con man. He's a bloody, how could he do something so deceitful? Yeah, you gotta go, how could he do something so deceitful? That man Yankees showed something so powerful. He's a role model to the children. Because he showed that you shouldn't listen to what people say you can or cannot do. If you believe in yourself and you work hard enough, anything is possible. People told him his whole life, they're like, Yankees, you can't do sign language. He was like, we'll see about that. Bitches. And he did it. He did sign language for the most powerful people in the world. Every single one of them, Yankees was on that stage doing it and doing it well. Nobody even suspected him. Nobody. People were just like, he's doing his thing. People ask questions, where did he come from? Did he sneak? He didn't sneak in. He'd been the official sign language interpreter for the government for the last 5 years. Yeah, official for the last 5 years. And apparently before this, people have complained, but obviously the complaints fell on deaf ears, so nothing was done about it. And so he just carried on. And now he was here, the biggest events of his life, signing for the world. Signing, just making it up in the zone. Nobody suspected. I suspected though. I did. No, I did. Let me tell you why. No. Let me tell you why. Not because I know sign language, but because I know my president. And if there's one thing that's specific, is when Jacob Zuma reads a speech, right? Jacob Zuma reads a speech. He's a very deliberate man. He's very calm. He's very measured. Takes his time. The rhythm is the most important thing. And Yankees didn't match his rhythm. I knew there was something wrong. You remember this. Zuma was there reading Mandela's Wikipedia page, right? And while he was reading, Yankees was doing totally different, like the rhythm was wrong. Zuma was there like, and
Thereafter, Nelson Mandela went to Robben Island for his imprisonment. Term and to fight for the rhythm didn't match, right? Zuma was on page 1, that guy was on like page 17 or something. It didn't match up at all. It's almost like Zuma was translating sign language for us. That's how slow it looked. Sorry, I haven't practiced, guys. It didn't match up. None of it. But Yankees did it. He stayed there in the face of adversity and he fought. Yeah, he did sign language for everyone. We've got to ask ourselves questions as well as South Africans. We don't ask enough questions. For instance, did nobody think to ask him how he could speak every single language in the world? Every leader came from countries everywhere. They spoke in their language. Yankees translated for everyone. Did nobody stop to ask? Even for a second. The president of Brazil is standing up there. Nelson Mandela está pai. Nós devemos de você, de casa, do gosto muito, pelado que estava pesado. Nós do Yankees was there. Did no one say, hey Yankees, you can speak Portuguese? I'm in the zone, Baba, I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone. Did nobody think to ask? He did sign language for everyone. The ambassador of China was up there. 가도시, 전도이 넬슨 만델라. 다고 입시부 다로 신주의 공고로 받도시. Yankees was there on the side. He just made it up. He made everything up. And he did a great job at it. He did a great job. But then, like a true South African, he just took it too far. Enough wasn't enough. That's our problem in South Africa. That's all it is. We don't know when to stop. We take it too far. The same thing happens with tenders, all of these things. Guys are stealing houses and everything. I go, guys, I understand you want to steal. I understand that. I understand. But if you get a tender to build 10 houses, steal 1, build 9. At least 9 people have houses. Don't steal all the houses. Somebody's going to notice. And then you can't steal more houses. But no, we want it all in South Africa. We take it one step too far. That's what Yankees did. He had done it for everyone. He'd done a great job. The best fake sign language the world had ever seen. He had gotten away with it too, until Barack Obama came up to speak. This was a speech that was going to be performed by the most powerful man in the free world. 90 million people watching that speech. This, my friends, is the point where you pack up your little bag of tricks and you call it a day. Not Yankees. If I was Yankees, that's where I would have called it quits. I say, hey, Yankees, next one. Who is it? Barack Obama. The whole world is watching this one. I know, sorry guys, sorry. Sorry, hey, my fingers are cramping. I've lost my voice, sorry. Oh no, not Yankees. They're like, Barack, he's like, I'm there. And he was. Doing sign language for Barack Obama. And they found out that while he was doing the sign language, he kept on using the same signs over and over again, right? The few real signs that he actually knew. And apparently all he knew was 4 things that he kept on doing repeatedly. And those things, they asked afterwards, real sign language interpreters, they found that he was doing this, right? Which means greetings, yeah? Greetings, he kept on doing that. Another one he loved doing was circle, yeah? Yeah, circle. One of his favorites was smoking, yeah? And every now and again he'd go, get a little bit of that. That's all he did, over and over again. Can you imagine that? Nelson Mandela's memorial, Barack Obama pouring his heart out. There he is, Barack Hussein Obama. And Yankees. As Americans, Nelson Mandela's a man that showed that through peace, you could free not only the prisoner, but also the guard. Nelson Mandela's a man, he's beyond a man, he's a legacy. A legacy I could never aspire to be, but we can all look towards. And for me, Nelson Mandela showed that sometimes in life, you gotta go the hard way. You gotta say the things that matter. And always remember to do what counts. I could never be Nelson Mandela. Can you imagine how horrible it must have been for every single deaf person watching that speech? Imagine what it must have been like as a deaf person watching that at home, sitting there. That must have been the craziest thing they've ever seen in their lives. Deaf people just watching going, hello? Hello? What? Why is he talking about smoking? Why is he talking about smoking? Talk about Nelson Mandela. I'm talking about, talk about Nelson Mandela. What's wrong? Why is he talking about, what? Hello? Why did he? This is the worst speech ever. There's something wrong with this guy. Barack has a smoking problem. What the hell? Talk about Mandela. This guy, what's wrong with him? This is the worst speech. I can't listen anymore. This is horrible. This is horrible. Tell me when it's finished. I can't do this, man. That speech must have been ridiculous. By the way, that's only the second time I've ever told a joke about deaf people, ever. Only the second time. Told one joke when I was starting out in comedy and then I stopped because I believed you shouldn't make jokes about disabled people. It's the wrong thing to do. It's wrong, you know. And I never did it again until one day my life changed. I got asked to do a show in Sun City. I was asked to do a show. Sasol was organizing a going away party for the South African Paralympic team when they were going out to London. And so they invited me. They said, Trevor, we'd like you to come and do a show to perform for Ama Kroko Kroko. We'd like... Oh, you forgot. You forgot that that's the name we gave our Paralympic team. Not a nickname. That was our official name. We had Ama Boga Boga, Bafana Bafana, and Ama Kroko Kroko. We called our Paralympic athletes Ama Kroko Kroko, which means the broken things. A bunch of crocs. That is the worst thing you can call a disabled person ever. Ama Kroko Kroko. That is what we call. You got Ama Kroko. That's probably what Reva said to Oscar that night. That's the only thing I can think of. Don't you call Ama Kroko Kroko? So anyway, I was doing a show for Ama Kroko Kroko, right? And because I'm there, I did no jokes about disabled people or anything that could be seen as offensive. I did nothing like that. And after the show, I was meeting some of the guys. Everything went well. And one of the athletes came up to me, and I'll never forget this till the day I die. He came up to me, and he was partially deaf. And he introduced himself, and he was a fan, a great fan. And he was like, hey, Trevor, hey, man, how are you? I said, hey, how you doing, buddy? How are you? Good to meet you. Good. He said, yeah, man, great to meet you. Great to meet you. I'm a big fan. I said, oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. He said, yeah, dude, I love your stuff. You know what? You should have subtitles because, you know, sometimes I don't get it because I'm partially deaf. I was like, oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I didn't even know. I just thought you had an accent. That's cool, man. That's nice to meet you. He said, yeah, that's cool, man. I didn't have a question if you don't mind. I said, yeah, go ahead. He said, how come you never tell jokes about deaf people? So I'm sorry, what? I don't tell jokes about deaf people. He said, yeah. How come you never tell jokes about deaf people? I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you tell jokes about everyone. Short people, black, white, everyone. But I've never heard you tell a joke about deaf people. Why? So you've never heard me tell a joke about deaf people? Yeah. No, man, not like that, you stupid. No, man, you're an idiot. I said, no, dude, I don't know. I don't make jokes about deaf people. He's like, yeah, why not? I was like, because I shouldn't make jokes about deaf people, because if I did that, then deaf people would be hurt and they would be offended. Why would we be hurt? It's not like we don't know we're deaf. So I thought I was protecting you. Protecting us from what? From nothing. We also want jokes. We deaf. Yeah, we know we're different, but we still want the same things. I was like, yeah, but you know what's funny is you say I must make jokes, right? But even if you're cool with it, you know who will complain? People who can hear. Yeah, they'll complain on your behalf because that's what people do. They get offended for other people. They'll be the ones going, oh, Trevor Noah's an asshole. He made jokes about deaf people. And then, so? Why do you care? I said, because it hurts. It hurts. He's like, dude, you're a comedian. Suck it up. Hey, it's easy for you. No, dude, just make the joke. If the jokes are funny, people will laugh and then we move on. I was like, yeah, you know what? You say that. But then what do I do if they complain? He's like, dude, if they complain, then complain. Okay, you know what? Go do the joke. Go do the jokes. And then, if they complain, you must do what I do. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, just don't listen. You know, one of the biggest things we don't appreciate in South Africa, I've learned to appreciate it since I moved to the US, is what a civil relationship we have with our police. Huh? We can fight with our police when they stop us with not one thought in your head of losing your life. That's a luxury in America. I didn't even think about that. I just moved to the US to start working on The Daily Show. And one day I was driving and I got pulled over by a policeman, right? And I get pulled over by this policeman. And being pulled over by the police in America is a stressful experience because they make it a game show where you've got to try and figure out what's going on. In South Africa, it's simple, straight to the point. You get pulled over, the Metro Police comes there, he tells you, my friend, you were speeding. License, letter, license, plus no seatbelt, license. Then immediately you're in the game. Oh, come on, man, come on. Hey, don't come on, nothing here. Seatbelt, letter license. Visit driving here, shoemaker, yeah? Yeah. Now you're in the game. You know, it's time to talk. It's time to work things out. In America, they don't play that game. Policeman walked up to my window. I was sitting in the car. Got up there. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, do you know why I pulled you over? Shouldn't you know why? Why are you asking me? No, I don't know. Sorry, what did you say? I said, I don't know why you pulled me over. I pulled you over, sir, because you were speeding. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Do you know how fast you were going, sir? Did you not check your notes before you came? I feel like this is part of now I'm doing your job and my job at the same time. Sir, are you giving me attitude? No, I'm not giving you attitude. I'm just saying you can't ask me why you stopped me and then ask me how fast I was going. Next thing you're gonna ask me to write my own tickets. Sir, are you giving me attitude? You're gonna get out of this car right now. Sir, are you giving me attitude? And I was just talking to the guy because I was like, look, man, you can't say. Here's the craziest thing the cop said to me. He looked at me and he's like, sir, I'll tell you something. You were going 100 miles an hour. And I was like, 100 miles an hour? I was like, how did you know that? Where's your, can I see the thing? He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, show me your gun. And he's like, I got, no, whoa, not that one, whoa. I want to see the laser gun. Show me the speed. He's like, I don't need that, sir. I estimated that you were going 100 miles. I was like, estimated? What does 100 look like? Can't just estimate 100. So he's just gonna look. He's like, I can do that, okay? I can look and I estimate. I'm like, dude, that's a dangerous thing to do. So you just look and then you go, that guy's going 100. You can't just estimate. I imagine if I just do that with you, where I'm like, estimate standard 7, pelele. Yeah? Can't just do that. I'm sorry, sir. What did you just say to me? I didn't say any. I'm just saying that it's not fair for you to ask. Like, it's a weird experience with police over there. And my friend was in the passenger seat. He was shitting himself the whole time. He was just like, yo, dude, shut up. Yo, dude, shut up. Shut up, Trevor. Shut up, Trevor. You gonna get us killed. Shut up, Trevor. I was like, what do you mean get us killed for what? Why are we getting killed now? He's like, shut up, Trevor. Shut up, Trevor. I take that for granted because in America, you could get shot. You know, and you read stories and you see stories of black Americans getting shot, and that is true, they get shot at a disproportional rate, but white Americans also get shot by the police all the time. White police in America, police in general in America, are trigger happy. They don't play games. It's all racism, it's just police as a whole. Shoot first, ask questions later. There they are. You! Freeze! Did I get that order right? We take for granted the relationship we have here. In America, you read stories of people getting shot because they pulled out their wallets. In South Africa, you'll get shot because you didn't pull out your wallet. We're always talking. That's my favorite thing about South African police, is that you feel like you're part of what's happening. Pull over, the cop comes there. How are you, sir? I'm fine, how are you? Yeah, I'm fine, yeah? I don't know if you saw here. Let me just show you. Can you see here? Check the numbers. Check the numbers. See that one there? Top score. Yeah? See there? Top score, yeah? See that number there, yeah? Yeah. What does that number say? Then you're like, it says 160. Yeah? If it was Pac-Man, you have an extra life now, eh? Yeah? 160. So, what are we doing now? Malume. Yeah, what are we doing now? Malume. Hey, yeah, I know, my man, I know. They feel your pain. We're in this together. I almost feel like we need to send South African police. We need to send South African police to America just so that Americans can learn what it's like to have a functional police force that's not always threatening to end your life. You know? A police force where you can communicate, where you can air your differences without fear of mortal retribution. Wouldn't that be great to have Americans in sticky situations? There they are at a standoff. The police pull up. Woo! Woo! All right, we're gonna hand you over. We've got a Sergeant Matabula here. He's a specialist from South Africa. We're gonna hand you over. Hello? Hello, sir, how are you? Man, I ain't coming out. Yeah. I'm greeting you. I said, how are you? Don't just shout here, we are talking. How are you? I'm fine, man. Thank you very much for asking. How are you? I'm doing good, thank you very much. Okay, what's going on here, my brother? Look, man, that shit y'all trying to pin on me, it ain't true, man. I'm innocent. Okay, so just come out and we can talk. Nah, man, I know how this shit goes down. Y'all gonna kill me or I'm gonna spend the rest of my life in jail. That's not true. That's not true. Just come out, we can talk. I know what y'all gonna do, man. I got two options. I'm gonna die or I'm gonna spend my life in jail. There's another option. It involves a cold drink. Doesn't have to be this way. I thought the pandemic was going to ravage Africa the worst. Yeah, I won't lie, I was terrified. I was terrified for the African continent. You know, my whole life I'd seen, whenever there was a virus that broke out in the world, if it got to Africa, we got it the worst. I remember when it started spreading around the globe, I was getting ready for it. My friends from home were calling me on the phone. They're like, Trevor, are you seeing what's happening with coronavirus, my man? Are you seeing it? I was like, yeah, I'm seeing it, man. They're like, what do you think is going to happen? I was like, oh, man, you guys are screwed, man.
Yeah, you guys. I was like, yeah. I'm in America, baby. I made the right choices in life. Turns out it was the other way around. Pound for pound, Africa did better than any other continent in handling the disease. Shocked everyone. What was even wilder was this. When Ebola was happening in Africa, the news always made it seem like it was Africans' fault for having Ebola. Right? Every time you'd watch the news, there was always a subtle level of blame that was happening in the news reports, right? They didn't humanize the people. It would always be someone random on like Sky or on the BBC. They'd be standing there. There'd be dead bodies piled up behind them. They'd be like, Sarah, I'm standing here in West Africa, where as you can see behind me, the bodies of Ebola victims are piling up. Many European scientists are asking if, unfortunately, these Africans have themselves to blame. They've been refusing the advice of the World Health Organization, not understanding the importance of distancing from each other during this time, and it appears that they only have themselves to blame. Dillingham, BBC, back to you in the studio. And I would watch this and I'd be like, no, Africans, why do we do this to ourselves? Why, Africa? Why? Why do we love doing this to ourselves? Why do we like kissing monkeys? The lips are so sexy. And then when COVID came, Africans used everything they had learned from every virus that they had to fight without the help of the West, and they dealt with it better than any other continent. Didn't get credit, by the way. Everyone made it seem like it was luck. That's where the world is lucky that Africans aren't spiteful. Yeah. Africans aren't spiteful people. Because I would have given anything to just see one African news anchor come out and be like, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the African News Network. Tonight, we are covering the ongoing coronavirus pandemic that is ravaging the Western world. Many African scientists are asking if these people do not have themselves to blame. Many of them have refused the advice of the World Health Organization, completely ignoring the social distancing measures. Some of them have even had to be shown how to wash their own hands. Savages. It appears what has been increasing the severity of this problem is the fact that some of them do not even want to wear masks across their face, saying, quote, I cannot breathe through this piece of cloth. This is commonly known by scientists as bitch-ass lungs syndrome. Back to you in the stereo, Chipua. I would have given anything to see that. One of the biggest side effects of COVID that I didn't expect is how stupid it would make human beings. Yeah, if there's one thing coronavirus did, it taught me how many of my friends are absolute idiots. Everyone studied at the University of Facebook. Everyone's a scientist. Everyone had a conspiracy theory. You know what happened here? The government did this. Oh, the government did this? Yeah, the government did this. Why? To control us. You thought this gave them control? You think governments wanted this? Which do you think gives a government more control? A population that goes to work, earns money, buys things that they can't really afford, so get into debt, so they have to go back to work, do more of the thing they don't really like, to get more money to pay the debt for the thing that they didn't really need, for the thing that they didn't need to afford, to get more money to go to the job, for the thing they don't like, for the thing that they didn't need to buy, to get the loan, for the money, for the thing that they didn't want, to get into more debt, to get the thing that they don't want, to go to the job that they don't need, for the money. Which do you think gives them more control? That? Or everyone just sitting at home with free money thinking about life? Everyone just sitting at home like, how come a weekend's only 2 days? It's a government's worst nightmare. conspiracies were stupid. And here's the thing, I'm not against conspiracy theories, right? Please understand that. I actually like a good conspiracy theory. In fact, I think everybody should hold one. I think in your life, you should hold at least one good conspiracy theory. Yeah, keeps you on your toes. Don't just trust everything everyone tells you. You gotta have one. Like mine, my personal favorite, I believe that gluten is concentrated white privilege. You know I'm right. But COVID, oh man, the conspiracies were ridiculous. Especially because I know what really happened. All right, that's what frustrated me. No, I do. I knew exactly what caused COVID. I saw it coming and I didn't say anything. My bad, by the way. Yeah, it was too much wishing. We wished too much. I saw it coming. You know, when I was young, wishing was something that was special. Didn't happen that much. You had to have a special set of circumstances in order for you to make a wish. You'd find a clover with the right amount of leaves. Huh? There'd be a star shooting. Where? There. Too late. Oh, it had to be your birthday. They'd bring out the candles. And if you blew them all out, you could make a wish. And if you missed any, you died. But then people just started wishing for anything. Huh? Find an eyelash on their cheek. Make a wish. Do you know how many of these shits are on your face at any given time? People started just wishing on like the time, right? And be like, 11:11. Make a wish. That's every day. Twice a day if you live on this side of the world because people don't like big numbers. You can't wish every day. That's not a special occasion. But people did it. People were wishing. Everywhere you went. Even rappers got involved. Oh, I wish a nigga would. Would what? You can't just leave it open-ended. And that's how we got COVID. All our wishes came together. And they all came true at the same time. And that's what we got. Yeah, because COVID was essentially like an asshole genie that gave us everything we asked for. We all wished. How many people were rubbing that lamp at the beginning of 2020? Just wishing away like, oh, I wish I didn't have to go into the office every day. Oh. Your wish is granted. Yeah, you wished not to go into the office. You forgot to wish that the office wouldn't come into your house. Now you were stuck every day on Zoom, can't blink, gotta make constant eye contact. Yeah, Had to find the one corner of your house that made it look like you had your shit together. Everybody wished. And boy, we got what we wished for. How many parents were rubbing that lamp? Wishing away. Oh, I wish I could spend more time with my kids. Your wish is granted. Yeah. A lot of parents realize the only reason you like your kids is because you only know them part-time. You meet them in the morning, you send them off, you tuck them in at night. It's a pretty sweet gig. But the next thing you know, everyone was trapped indoors, 24/7. Ooh, it was so fun to watch the parents flip. It was so fun. Remember at the beginning, all the parents were there. They're like, you will not open the schools. My children are not going anywhere. I will protect them at all costs. I'm a mama bear and I'll protect my cubs. You hear me? You will not open the schools until the virus is gone. 9 months later. Those same parents were there screaming on the stoop, when are the goddamn schools opening? You can't expect me to spend all day with these kids. Who am I, their mom? They should be in school. The kids were there like, but mommy, there's a new variant out there. Listen, Timmy, listen, at some point you're gonna have to see what you're made of, okay? Either your lungs are gonna make it or they ain't. All right, buddy? Now get on out there and see what you're made of, all right? If Simba could do it, so could you. Hakuna Matata. Go on, buddy. Go on. We all wished. How many couples out there were wishing? Rubbing away at that lamp, looking into each other's eyes. Like, damn, girl, I wish I could be locked in a room with you all day. Girl, I wish they would lock us up and throw away the key. The things I would do to you. Oh, yeah? What would you do to me? Girl, I wish they would tell us we could only see each other all day. All day. Your wish is granted. A lot of couples learned a lot during the pandemic. A lot of couples learned a lot during the pandemic. A lot of people realized that love may be unconditional, but like has a time limit. Because I love you, baby. I just don't know if I like you anymore. It all started as so much fun, remember? Oh, in the beginning, it was like a sleepover. Oh my God, this is so much fun. And then the weeks turned into months. The months turned into years. And at some point, you'd be sitting in the house with a glaze over your eyes. And you'd hear them coughing on the other side. And you'd be like, yes. Oh, yes, Jesus. Take them now, Lord. If it's their time, it's their time. Let thy will be done, Lord Jesus. I could use the extra office space. You know, one of the things that saddens me the most about the world we live in is that we oftentimes don't have the luxury to process the whys. We know that things happen. We feel the things happening to us, but oftentimes we don't make the time or we don't have the time to process the why. Why were we so angry? Why did we fight each other so much? We had no compassion for each other. We were the worst of ourselves. And you know, if you ask me, it's because we were scared. As humans, we become so comfortable knowing that we forget how uncertain life is. We get taught every single day that we know. We get comfortable knowing, so you think you'll always know. What's the traffic gonna be like? You know. What's the weather gonna be like? You know. Oh, it'll rain on Thursday. You understand what a magic trick that is? If you had that technology 500 years ago, you were like, oh, it'll rain on Thursday. People would be like, kumba ding dang ginga wan dang ginga kumba ding dang ginga wan dang ding dang kumba wan dang. We take that for granted, but it's also made us forget that life is uncertain. We don't know. The pandemic showed it. It exposed every single one of us. And I think the thing that we didn't take a moment to think about is the why. Why were we so angry? Why were we so frustrated? It wasn't because of movies. It wasn't because we couldn't go out to parties. It wasn't because we couldn't go to the mall or any of that shit. It's because we lost each other. I lost you. You lost me. We lost this. You know? That's the real thing people were frustrated about. And what made it worse was that governments made it seem like they knew. I think that's the thing that made it worse. They were so confident. They made it seem like they knew. They said it would be 21 days. 21 days. I will never forget that number. Because we didn't ask why. Right? We heard China building a 10,000 person hospital overnight. None of us asked why. We were just like, China. They love building shit. I remember how confident world leaders were as well. Some more cocky than others. One of my favorites was Prime Minister of the UK, Boris Johnson. Yeah, he was an interesting one. He went to a hospital during the pandemic and he was hugging people. Like right at the beginning, he was hugging people, going around hugging people. Journalists asked him, they're like, Prime Minister Johnson, do you think it's appropriate for you to be hugging people during a pandemic? He's like, first of all, everyone needs to calm down. This is not a pandemic. This is not a pandemic. Look at my hair. Do I look stressed? Everybody needs to calm down. Nothing. Everything is fine. Well, I can touch people. We're not shutting down. Everything's staying open. The pubs are staying open. The football's staying open. Well, if you excuse me, I have to go. He's just gone. He didn't give a shit. Huh? America's president. Oh, he was even cockier. Yeah. You see him when he came out, Donald J. Trump? Oh, he had all the swag. He was like, folks, we're gonna have it handled. In 21 days, the virus will be gone. 21 days. Some are even saying 20. That disease came and kicked Trump and Boris deep in the chest. Both men went to the ICU, almost died. Only reason they survived is because they're both heads of state. They gave them that secret juice. Boris, to his credit, he came out of that hospital like he had seen Jesus. He came from the hospital, held a press conference, shut everything down. He came there barely dressed. He was like, everybody, this is not a joke. I've seen it for myself. The UK shutting down. Please, the football's gone. The pubs are gone. Do not take this lightly. I've experienced it myself. I promise, this is not fun. I can't talk to you. I have to go. Please, I can't talk. I have to. And he was just gone. Gone. That man was terrified. I was half expecting coronavirus to come around the corner like... Trump, on the other hand, didn't give a damn. That man will die from being stubborn. He came out of the hospital, could barely breathe, but still held a press conference. Didn't even speak. He was just like... If I can do it, so can you. Oh, man. And if you ever do go to Paris, take some extra money for the clothes shopping. It's amazing. And try and also pack an extra pair of self-esteem. Yeah, you'll need it when you shop with the French, because they're not your friends. You know what fascinates me about New York? Is how much people trust the traffic lights. I have never seen anything like it. You must remember, I come from an African country, and all over Africa we have traffic lights, but we don't use them. Right? It's less of a command and more of a suggestion. It's not stop, it's stop. It's almost like, you know, it's almost like an African traveled the world, saw that other people had traffic lights, and then just brought them back, but didn't know what they were for. Like the guy was just like, guys, we need to get traffic lights, huh? And people were like, what for? It's for the intersection. It adds atmosphere. But no one actually knew what it was about. We don't care about the lights, and we don't trust the lights.
But in New York, I've never seen it. People trust that light with their lives. I was walking through the streets one day. I was walking next to this man. I'll never forget this, right? He's standing there on the sidewalk, and the light changes in our favor. And I look to the side, and there's this truck that is barreling down the road. And I'm looking at the truck, and as soon as the light changes, the guy next to me, he just steps out into the road. And so instinctively, I stuck my hand out to protect him. I was like, yo, dude, there's a truck. And he was like, it's okay, we've got the light. I said, yeah, and he has a truck. In a game of rock, paper, scissors, you lose. But he was so confident. He was like, it's okay, we got the light. Come on, let's go. And he walked out there. He didn't just walk out, he stared that truck driver down as he was crossing, just looking at him like, I've got the light, I've got the light. You know I've got the light. You know I've got that light. I was running behind him all apologetic. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I would have stopped. I'm sorry, I've never done this before.
White people love being flabbergasted. Come on. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Have you ever seen when a white person's having like a bad day, something's gone wrong, and they always do that thing with their face, they just get flabbergasted, it's like, oh. White people love being flabbergasted. You'll see it in supermarkets all the time. There's like a long line, right? Like only one cashier is open. Everyone's standing there patiently. There'll always be one white person who pops out like, why don't they open the other? Are you serious? Why don't they? Are you? The only thing white people love more than being flabbergasted is finding another white person to flabbergast with. Have you seen that? Yo, whenever that happens, magic. It is absolute magic. A white person will be flabbergasting. They'll make eye contact with another white person, and then they'll flabbergast together. It's like they Voltron their flabbergasting into a super flabbergast. You see them look over and just be like, oh, are you seeing it? I know. So, fast forward many decades, we're in Edinburgh, Scotland. Going out with my friends. We're choosing a spot. I choose Indian, authentic Indian. We get to the place, and it's legit. Like, it is legit. We walk in, and there's Indian music playing. There are Indian people eating, Indian cooks in the back, Indian waiters, Indian guards on the wall. I'm like, this is it. I'm home. We walked in, we sat down. And as soon as we sat, one of my friends, Steve, launches for the menu. And I was like, Steve, it's cool, man. I'll just order for everyone at the table. And he's like, oh, that's fine, Trevor. I'll order for myself, thank you. I was like, no, it's not about that, Steve. I just prefer to order for all of us, yeah? Right? You good? And he's like, I don't know why that's necessary. I think I'll just order for myself. Is that okay? I was like, it's not. No, it's not okay, Steve. It's not okay, right? Because you're probably going to say some shit that's going to embarrass me in front of my Indian people, right? And so I just need you to back off for a moment. He's like, I'm sorry, what would I say that could embarrass you in front of Indian people? I was like, I don't know, Steve, and I don't want it to happen. Just let me handle this, okay? He's like, let you handle this? Trevor, I'll have you know that I've eaten curry for many, many years. I'm like, Steve, this is not the time. Just let's not argue, okay? Let's not argue. It's not the time to argue. He's like, what do you mean? Why would I embarrass you? Why? I was like, there's no why. You don't need to know why. Let's just not do it. He's like, no, why? Why? Because I'm white. I was like, you brought it up, not me, all right? I wasn't going to bring up race, but you did, Steve, and now that you brought it up, let's talk about it. Every time I take my white friends to an ethnic restaurant, they always say some shit that embarrasses me. Every single time. Every time. Either they don't know how to pronounce the food, or they'll say some random shit. They'll be like, can I get that one, the papadums? What do you call these ones? You know, they'll be like, can I get this one, but not spicy? Kill yourself! Can I get the curry, but not spicy? Kill yourself! How are you gonna ask for curry but not spicy? That's the whole point of curry. You want curry without the spice. Would you go to a sushi restaurant and ask for them to have the fish slightly boiled? No, I don't want the spice. Your forefathers went around the world killing people for the spice. Now you don't want it? Shut up and eat the spice, Steve. Now these days when you're driving around, all you hear is trap music. That's the big thing you hear is trap. That's the new music on the radio. It's really fun, trap. I don't understand what they're saying, but I enjoy it. You know? Yeah, every single song is the same. Every trap song to me sounds like a toddler complaining about life. That's all I hear when I listen to trap songs. Every time a trap song plays on the radio, I think of my little brother. He'll go outside, he'll like hurts himself, he'll come back crying, and it sounds like every single trap song ever. He'll like walk in like, and I'll be like, yo, Isaac, what happened, buddy? He'll be like, and I'll be like, yo, dude, slow down. I thought you were playing with your friends. What happened? All my friends are dead. Put me to the edge. All my friends are dead now. Give me to the end now. I'm trying to leave now. I'll be like, yo, go talk to your mom, man. I don't know what you're saying. Go talk to your mom. And when I found out that Daniel Craig no longer wanted to be James Bond, I was heartbroken. Until I heard that at the top of the list, the potential replacement was a man by the name Idris Elba. And I lost my mind. You can hear the ladies, I mean, like, yeah, you know, yeah. And that's what James Bond needs. A ladies' man and a man's man, and Idris has that. You know, he's strong, he's charming, you know, he's got that quiet thing, oh yeah, you know, Idris Elba, oh yeah. You know, Idris Elba, you know, oh yeah, you could just see him playing the dapper spot. And as soon as it was announced, everyone is excited. Everyone was excited until the comment section of the internet came in. Idris Elba, James Bond. And the comment section was like, actually, Idris Elba could not play James Bond. And we were like, why? They're like, because... Because of the shape of his head? What are you saying? What are you saying? No, because... Because what? Because he's black! James Bond cannot be played by a black man! And as soon as they said that, the internet exploded. Racism! And immediately that happened. I jumped in. I don't even know what it's about half of the time. I just jump in. You just hear racism and I rep my side. I'm just like, racism, racism! Ah, you guys will explain it later. Racism! And I was in there and I was like, what the hell's going on? They're like, James Bond could not be played by Idris Elba because Idris Elba is a black man and James Bond is white. I was like, well, actually, James Bond is a fictional character and so we can be played by anyone because it is fiction. And they were like, well, when you think about it, James Bond was based on a real man who was white and so he should be played by a real white man. And I was like, well, that just doesn't make sense because if you think about it, Jesus was technically a black man, but he gets played by a white man. So I don't know what your point is, because that's never stopped me from receiving my blessings. I don't know what you're going on about. And they were like, you can't have it. I was like, racism, you can't have it, racism, you can't have it, racism! And then I went to Scotland. I realized that maybe, just maybe, I hadn't given the argument enough thought. Because I love Idris Elba. I want him to play Bond. But if you think about it, James Bond often operates in places like Scotland and the UK and Europe. Because that's where most supervillains choose to reside. I'm assuming it's for tax purposes. No matter how you feel about the issue, you have to admit it would be particularly difficult to be a spy when you are the only black person in town. Every woman in this room has a trick that works on every man. And right now I know a lot of the women are like, shut up, Trevor, shut up, 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 shut up. It's a beautiful, subtle technique. Yeah. You'll be out having lunch or something, and some guy will come up to the table, he's buff, works out, you know, looks really good. He's like, oh my God, Michelle? Michelle? It's like, oh, Justin? oh my God, wow, how are you? And they're like, who the hell is Justin? What's going on? He's like, this is crazy. I can't believe this, twice in 2 weeks? And they're like, twice? When was once? Who is this? I know, oh my God, oh, how are you? I'm doing good. Man, we gotta catch up sometime. We gotta talk about college. I was thinking about it the other day. We were so crazy in college. You remember that night? You remember that night? And you're like, you went to college? What's going on here? She can feel your ego slowly withering like a raisin in the sun. And she won't look at you. She won't make anything big out of it. She'll continue the conversation. But they'll gently just put their hand on your thigh and then just start rubbing it. She'll carry on. She'll carry on like nothing's happening. I know, those were crazy. I mean, I was a cheerleader. I mean, what are you gonna do, you know? It's just one of those. And then the hand is there going, shh, 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 shh. It's okay, it's okay. And so the best and worst experience I had learning American happened to me when I first moved to the US. I lived in California, in Pasadena, when I first came to the United States, right? And the reason I lived in Pasadena is because that's where I knew my first American friend, a guy by the name of David Maya. He came to South Africa to film a documentary. We became the best of friends. And one day we were hanging out in Dave's apartment. And Dave's chilling on his beanbag. And he looks over at me and he's like, Trevor, dude, I don't know about you right now, but I'm starving. I said, I think you mean you're hungry, Dave. I said, what? I said, it doesn't matter. What do you want to eat? So you know what I'm craving right now, man? I'm craving tacos. I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. Let's do it, man. Let's go to tacos. What? So isn't that the restaurant you're craving? Tacos? Are you being serious right now? You've never had tacos? I said, no, I don't know what tacos is. You've never had tacos? My answer hasn't changed from now, Dave, no. I've never had tacos. You've never had tacos? And by the way, I hate it when people do that. You know when people ask you the same question over and over again because they can't believe you haven't had the exact same life experience? You know that thing people do? Like with everything, they'll be like, oh my God, have you heard the new Beyonce? No, I have. You haven't heard the new Beyonce? No, I have. You haven't heard the new Beyonce? Oh no, now I have. No, I'd never had tacos, right? I'd never had tacos because in South Africa, we don't really have Mexican food, okay? We don't have Mexican food because we don't have Mexicans. They never came over, it's not my fault. Dave was personally offended. I'll never forget, he jumped up and he was like, dude, I cannot believe you've been in America all this time and you've never had tacos? I said, Dave, why is it such a big deal? He's like, because, Trevor, nothing says America like tacos. I said, really? Nothing says America like Mexican food? And if you ever do go to Paris, take some extra money for the clothes shopping. It's amazing. And try and also pack an extra pair of self-esteem. Yeah, you'll need it when you shop with the French, because they're not your friends. Yeah, I've never been to a country where you are truly on your own when you're shopping. Like you walk into a store, nobody helps you, nothing. You don't know who works there, you don't know who's doing anything. Literally, it's like undercover employee. You just walking around. It's like 20 minutes, nobody helped me. And then finally I started picking my own clothes. And then I heard like an annoyed voice behind me. It was like, can I help you? I was like, hi, yes, I need to get a few clothes, please. My luggage was lost. And then Detroit, I got roasted more than I've ever been roasted in my life. Ever. I got roasted. Everything I chose came with a scathing review. I was like, yeah, could I please get this in a medium? He's like, medium? No, you mean large or extra large, no? Yeah, no, this one is the medium for your body. I don't think so, no? I was like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, no, yeah, I think you are large, extra. I can bring that one for you, okay? Medium is too much for the shirt, okay? I love traveling, man. I love traveling and learning about places, reading things, meeting new people. When I think about like the history of racism, I'm fascinated by racism as a concept, as as an action, policy. All of it fascinates me. I read these stories in history. And one of the most fascinating things I read about recently, one of the most fascinating places, was a place called Rochester, New York, where genuinely, this blew my mind, where they had a city which was basically dedicated to rehabilitating people who had escaped slavery. All right, so black people who had escaped the South, got into the North, were rehabilitated at this place. Frederick Douglass wrote many of his works there. The suffragette movement kicked off there. It's a powerful, powerful little place. And like I was reading these stories, and what they would do is, slaves would escape from the South. They'd make their way to the North. They would get to Rochester. The Underground Railroad would get them there. And then they would rehabilitate them, put them on boats, and send them to Canada so that they could live free. And I was like, it's a fascinating story for two reasons. One, to remind you that there were a lot of good people, white people out there, because a lot of time I get angry at white people, and then I'm like, no, there's good ones, calm down. And the second part of it that was amazing was that they convinced black people to get back on boats. I think that's one of the most amazing stories I've ever read. Because do you know how convincing you'd have to be to convince someone who's they've just escaped slavery? Think about that for a second. Somebody's just escaped slavery. They've made their way there, finally. All right? They wake up after one night of free sleep. And they walk out and it's just like, hey, man, I just want to say thank you so much for everything you did for me, man. Well, you know what, my friend? Nobody deserves to live the way you lived, and I'm glad we got you out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, my friend. Okay, all we got to do now is get you some paperwork, get you cleaned up, and put you on a boat, get you to Canada, and you can live a free life, and everything's gonna be better. I'm sorry, hold up. Yeah, go yeah, could you come again? What did you say? Oh, I know, the paperwork thing is weird, but we gotta get you some identification. No, you said something about a boat? Yeah, we're gonna get you on a boat so you can get to Canada. Yeah, nah, I don't, yeah, we don't do boats no more. I don't know if you know our history, but me and my people, we took a cruise one time. That shit didn't go so well. So yeah, we gotta find another way to get to Canada if you don't mind. No, but the boat is the best way for us to get there from Rochester. Yeah, that might be the best way for y'all, but we gonna walk. Hell, we can run real good. We can run, but we ain't getting on no boat. My friend, you gotta get on the boat. Man, I ain't gotta do shit. I just got free. Imagine if I get on that boat and on the other side I'm in the same place. What they gonna say to me? Why'd you get on that boat? Because he was real nice. Oh, hell no. I ain't getting on no boat. Well, you gotta get on the boat, though. You're free now. You gotta get over this. Look, man, maybe one day in a few hundred years, one of my descendants named Kanye West will be over this shit, but I ain't over it right now. So I ain't getting on no boat. We gotta get you on the boat, damn it! I'm not getting on no boat!